Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Why the Last Man, Season 1, Episode 6 Weird Al is Dead. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. I wasn't sure YouTube was going to work or not today, considering the outage that they had and everything on Facebook and all the other stuff that was going on. Well, then again, I mean, that was Facebook. Google is, YouTube. So who knows? Anyway, let me get down to some business here. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube action notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media up there and all the links to my pages. So this YouTube channel page, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. Those of you who still have Facebook. Mark says, you know who didn't have any issues with Facebook, Insta, or WhatsApp? You. Okay. Yeah. And Mark, you check the schedule. I'm surprised. It's amazing. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Giving you enough time to turn away. Okay. All right. So Yorick is being back to being his dickhead self again. Obviously, he keeps fucking wandering off like a small child. Honestly, it's not even a small child. He wanders off like a dog that sees something shiny or a squirrel, and just wanders off. Even though knowing that he's gonna wander off, he'll probably die at some point if someone finds out what he is, who he is, all that kind of stuff. And of course, now Agent 355 is paired with pretty much another asshat, Dr. Allison Mann, who is feeding Uric a whole bunch of shit that saying that, you know what, we shouldn't follow this woman. She's nothing but trouble. She's going to get us killed. And of course, kind of true in a little bit because, President Jennifer Brown has sent out troops to go after Agent 355 because she doesn't know if her son is alive yet or still alive or not because of the helicopter crashes, I should say, the two helicopters crashing. Yeah, she did say she would get him a leash, and really she should. Yeah, I mean, fuck, man, it's ridiculous, quite honestly. And we also see that she is suffering pretty big time at the moment with sleepwalking and almost killing herself while sleepwalking. If Yorick hadn't been there, she might have gone over the edge in that church there. So, yeah, there's some bad juju going on. And we're also seeing more about the world, how it's collapsed and still collapsing in this episode as well. And we get introduced to the Amazons who yeah, that's the group that took Hero and Sam in, and also Nora and Mackenzie, and they're held up in like a Costco kind of place. And the leader Roxanne is a former detective, I guess police detective. At least that's what she says she is. And there's this weird kind of vibe going on. Sam isn't jiving with it, but Hero is. And we also get a lot of full frontal female nudity. And I don't know about you, but that wash scene, it kept going back from creepy to somewhat like they're trying to seduce Hero. I don't know. It kept going back and forth. And I was like, are you sending out what kind of signals are they trying to send out to Hero here in order to get them to join the collective, if you will? Yeah, there was just some weird shit that was going on in this episode. There really was. But yeah, we're finding out that Roxanne does not bring people into the group. Basically, the group that is there is it. And we saw like a group coming in that were starving, and she turned them away and like, yeah, go away. Even though they had a little kid and everything like that. But it looks like Hero might be joining the group, and Sam might be leaving the group because he's being ostracized because, of course, being you know, taking testosterone. Yeah. So some weird shit going on there. And having Uric, Allison Mann, Dr. Allison Mann, and 355 going to San Francisco from Boston. I honestly, I feel for Agent 355 right now. She should find some duct tape, like a lot of duct tape Dr. Mann's mouth closed, and also just duct tape her mouth to Yorik's throat, I guess, just so that she can keep them together at that point. Because it's yeah, it's that bad. And poor Ampersand. Ampersand is, feeling the brunt of all of this too. And for once, Ampersand was not the little shit getting everybody in trouble. It was Yorick once again. So yeah. And of course, we have a little bit of drama in the White House area there with Dr. President Brown and Regina Oliver, who's there. You can tell who they patterned Regina Oliver after. Yeah. Um, orange, fake hair, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's who a reality TV star, all that stuff. So yeah, you can totally tell where they're going with that one. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know if I get why they're doing it because you can't just have Uric and 355 and Dr. Mann traipsing across the country and then also the hero stuff. It just doesn't work. You need to actually add a little bit of, real world, I guess you could say, of what would happen in the political system and all that kind of stuff. But it's going a little too much, if you will, if you ask me on that. That's all. So good episode. I did like that, Yorick does bump into another um, trans person, and basically he says, "Yeah, you can take off your mask. They don't care here. Everything's good." And they're talking about Radiohead and how because that's what the singers were singing was a Radiohead song. And he goes, "Yeah, my sister took me to a Radiohead concert," is what York is telling this person, and says, she wanted to show me that there's more to music than just Weird Al. And the trans person goes, "Oh man, R.I.P. Weird Al," which I thought was kind of funny, but also sad at the same time. I mean, it was just one of those things. You're just like, "Oh yeah," you know. So, but good episode. Very weird, and then also, oh, we also get the why they're called the Amazons too. Is Missy Pyle's character uh disrobes or takes off her shirt, and we see that she has a mastectomy, so she's missing one breast, and she goes into about the Amazons who cut off one of their breasts, and she kind of actually she got the story a little bit mixed up on that one. They didn't cut off the breast to show how tough they were. They actually cut off the breast because it got in the way of archery. So it was actually a warrior thing, and that's what that whole thing was all about. I hate to mansplain that, but that's honestly what it was all about. Was archery is really what it was all about. So yeah, and that also she was on a chat room that's what they called themselves, was the Amazons, and so that's kind of where this group is heading, this being called the Amazons. And having poor Kelsey getting the shit kicked out of her for talking to Sam and actually trying to warn Sam. I mean, she was actually trying to be a decent person and warn Sam and say, "Hey, no one's going to talk to you here. And the reason why is because we're not supposed to talk to you." And then she gets caught and then she gets the shit kicked out of her. So, yeah. And Nora is just playing the game, man. Nora is just fucking playing the game like she was doing in the White House. And she is trying to get in Roxanne's good graces, and Roxanne sees it and is calling her out in her shit. So you see these, it's almost political in both ends, like in the White House and then also in the Amazon's group there. Not so much in Yorick's group of people. Even though 355 says, I'm not your sister, I'm not somebody to save, fuck off kind of thing. I'm just here to protect your ass. So interesting episode. Looking forward to next week. This isn't the best TV series. I can say that fairly easily, but it's also not the worst either. It's in like I said, it's entertaining, it's interesting, and I just don't see this lasting. Now I don't see this lasting more than 2 seasons. Quite honestly, I can't see it dragging out to a third. I really can't. Uh, it's kind of really depressing, and already they're kind of dragging it out as it is in the first season here, and I think they're gonna have to bump something up to get us to figure out why we should stick around for more than 2 seasons at this point. And they need to do it fast. I mean, here we are, episode 6. And how many episodes? I think we have 10 episodes in this season, if I remember correctly. I can never remember offhand. That's why I have IMDb up, who still is kind of like Wikipedia, but sometimes they have at least what the episode guides are. So yeah, 10 episodes is what we're gonna have. 10 episodes. So what would you rate it overall? 6, a 7. Yeah, I'll give it a 6, Pen. I would say it's about a 6. It's interesting. They're with a little bit more of a competent, not a competent, I would say with a better writing staff and a little bit of a better director, this would have been elevated a little bit more. But there was just some weirdness to the episode. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and I wanna say it just falls to the direction and the writing. It really does. There could have been a little stronger writing and a little stronger direction in there. The acting's solid. I mean, the acting's solid. Olivia Thirlby, you can tell, is enjoying what she's doing when she's doing these scenes. You can also tell Missy Pyle is enjoying what she's doing in these scenes. Ashley Roman, who plays Agent 355, is doing a good job there as well. She's actually the standout, I think, out of the entire series. Well, her and also Diana Bang, who's playing Dr. Allison Mann. Diana Bang is like fucking full on nailing the character of a scientist, especially when they're at the little impromptu Radiohead concert, and she's walking around and she goes, "Oh, I think I dropped something," and I mean, complete and total scientist. I work with scientists all the time, and she is kind of a stereotypical scientist, is really what she is, and she's nailed it. It's pretty damn good. So. And of course, Diane Lane is always good, uh, as always. And then also the woman who's playing Regina Oliver, um, and I'm blanking on her name all of a sudden. Let me see. I can go back and take a look. Jennifer Wigmore. There we go. Jennifer Wigmore is just reveling in playing this I don't know, malevolent character, if you will, who doesn't think they're malevolent at all, but she is. So, yeah, there's yeah. Oh, of course, Marks, it's better than Titans. Titans sucks. That's why I stopped covering Titans, man. I mean, uh yeah, man, Titans just really sucks. Yeah. Penn says I had a hard time recognizing Amber Tamblyn as the dead president's daughter. Yeah, I did too. I did too. Actually, and I keep forgetting to mention it. Christine, the woman who's pregnant in the White House, the one that's also Jennifer Brown's right hand person. She was in The Boys. Actually, she still appears in The Boys every now and then. She's Huey's girlfriend who got splattered in the first episode. Robin, that's Robin from The Boys who got splattered by A Train. That's the actress who played Robin. Yes. Yeah, she's also in The Expanse too. That's right. Correct. Yeah. Everything looks Oscar-worthy compared to the Inhumans. The Inhumans had some decent actors in it. It was just a shit script, with a shit producer and, a shit budget and a shit director. I think it was just a trip to Hawaii, that's all it was. It was a trip to Hawaii for everybody on that one. And unfortunately, what's her name had to shave her head for that role too, which was just man. Hopefully they paid her enough. The one who played, Medusa. I'm blanking on her name. I actually used to follow her. She was in a couple different shows I used to like, and yeah. Philip says it's the best episode so far. I like the last episode, Manhunt, especially when Dr. Man is just explaining how fucked everything really is. And they're drunk at the time that they're doing it, and I just love that scene. That scene for me is um it's bite-sized science for the layperson is really what it is, but at the same time the layperson doesn't realize just how fucking for anybody who has any kind of science background, when the little bit that she does say in there, it's like, oh my god, they're really fucked, like super fucked. Where you're talking about in a generation or two, not even that because they can't reproduce at this point. Everything's fucking gone. You know what? No animals, no people. The only thing that are left are plants. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's fairly, like I said, really decent. Alright, what else do I have going on this week? Well, tomorrow I'm off. Wednesday is this little show you might have heard of called What If? It's a season finale of What If, that's right. What If is on Wednesday. Also on Thursday is Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol's back with a new episode on Thursday. Friday, I'm off. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Sunday is Spoiler Alert, where we get to just talk about spoilers all the time and other shit too. I mean, it really devolves in all kinds of weird shit. So you should come on by. That's actually a fun time. And then we roll back around again to Why the Last Man. So there we go. Philip says, I really liked the Y has to make a decision with his mom listening on the phone. Um, you know what I did like also, and I forgot to mention it, was the one thing that made me laugh was Dr. Mann in the very beginning. They're like, do you think he masturbates? And she's talking to 355. And she goes, I don't want to know. And she goes, well, I think he should. You should tell him. He really doesn't like me. And Agent 355 is just flipping around a butterfly knife, and she's yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh man, that's some funny shit right there. It really is. But with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night on that thought. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. Thank you. Um, and I kind of blanked for a second. She thinks you're going to go watch some Weird Al now. I actually tagged Weird Al on the Twitter post for this one just to see what would happen. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Wednesday for What If, the season finale of What If. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may run into an impromptu Radiohead concert while government agents are hunting the person who's supposed to be protecting you. And it just turns into a shit show from there. Thanks, everybody. I will see you on Wednesday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Get those vaccine shots, wear those masks, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Have a good night, everybody, and take care.